Good morning. We begin NASA television coverage of mission STS-72 here at the John F. Kennedy Space Center in Florida. We're just hours away from the 74th Space Shuttle launch and the 10th flight of the Orbiter Endeavour with a crew of 6 astronauts. Liftoff is planned at 4:18 a.m. Eastern Time, the opening of a 49-minute launch window. This is Shuttle Launch Control, T-minus 3 hours and holding. Final inspection team is on the mobile launcher platform, continuing their inspections of the vehicle. The team has about 8 members representing NASA and the contractors, and Greg Katnick of the Kennedy Space Center is leading the team. The team carries a variety of instruments. One is a portable infrared scanner to measure temperatures on the cryogenic surfaces of the tank, engines, and orbiter. They also measure temperatures of the solid rocket booster cases and segment joints. And here we have the crew sitting down at the traditional table, the decorated cake bearing their STS-72 insignia. We have Mission Specialist Koichi Wakata flying for the first time aboard the shuttle. Koichi is an astronaut from NASDA, born in Japan. And Dr. Daniel Berry flying for the first time aboard the shuttle this morning. Berry will be one of the EVA specialists. And pilot Brent Jett, also flying aboard the shuttle the first time. He'll be using the RMS for the flight crew while they're performing EVAs. Here we have Commander Brent Duffy flying for the 3rd time aboard the shuttle today. Duffy, the most experienced in the shuttle for the whole crew. Mission Specialist Leroy Chiao, he's making his 2nd flight today aboard the shuttle. He will be involved in 2 of the spacewalks. And serving as flight engineer, Winston Scott, flying for the first time aboard the shuttle today. Again, the crew's been awake since about 7 p.m. and they're getting right on their schedule that they'll be following during the 9-day mission for mission STS-72. The final inspection team is continuing their assessment. And we do have the astronauts at the crew quarters getting into their launch entry suits. We've got Commander Brent Duffy. He's making his 3rd flight into space today. As commander, he's got overall responsibility of the flight. He's the most experienced space flyer on this mission. And of course, during the re-entry, he will take control just minutes before touchdown and will be responsible for all of the systems on board the vehicle during the rendezvous maneuvers. And shuttle rookie Brent Jett is making his 1st flight. He will be assisting Duffy at the flight controls, including the 2 rendezvous operations. Jett will also operate the robot arm during the 2 spacewalks that are planned. And NASDA astronaut and mission specialist Koichi Wakata flying on the space shuttle for the first time. Wakata will be using the robot arm during the mission to retrieve the Japanese Space FLYER unit satellite, and will also use the arm to deploy and retrieve the OAST scientific flyer. across the room, Flight Engineer Winston Scott and Mission Specialist Leroy Chiao. Chiao making his second flight aboard the shuttle, ready to go this morning. And Chiao will be involved in both of the spacewalks planned for the mission. Also, he is the prime operator for the commercial protein crystal growth experiment. Rookie shuttle astronaut Winston Scott flying for the first time, and he serves as the flight engineer for this mission. In that capacity, he will be responsible for the Space FLYER unit systems, the OAST-FLYER systems. Will be operating several of the secondary experiments. And we have mission specialist Dr. Dan Barry. He's saying he's ready to go for launch today. He's also flying for the first time aboard the shuttle. He will be involved in the first spacewalk of this mission. Crew will be departing for launch pad 39B in about 20-30 minutes, and it's about a 30-minute ride out to the launch pad. Again, things look good for launch as far as weather is concerned here at KSC, and no ice concerns with the external tank or anywhere on the vehicle at all. The ice team reported that things look very good. Here we have the astronauts for mission STS-72 coming out of their crew quarters at the operations and checkout building. They'll be getting into an elevator where they'll ride down to the first floor.
Am I out? I can't get back no further. I'm in a pipe.
Crew of 6 again has been training for the better part of the year. They're spent most of their time training for this particular flight. Some employees wishing them well. We have the team led by Commander Brent Duffy. And the crew will ride out in the astronaut van to the launch pad. It's about a 30-minute ride to pad 39B. The astro van is escorted by KSC security. And the astro van is off. This is Shuttle Launch Control. We've got the STS-72 flight crew now at the 195-foot level at the launch pad. Brian Duffy is commander of the flight, and he has overall responsibility for the mission. Duffy is a colonel in the Air Force. He's the most experienced space flyer on the mission, having flown twice before as pilot of STS-45 in 1992 and STS-57 in 1993. Duffy is a native of Boston, Massachusetts. He was director of the F-15 test flights at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida before being selected as an astronaut candidate by NASA in 1985. And mission specialist Dr. Dan Barry now getting ready to take his assigned seat. He will be seated down in the mid-deck for ascent. Barry calls South Hadley, Massachusetts his hometown, and he earned 5 degrees after high school, including a doctorate in electrical engineering and computer science from Princeton University and a doctorate in medicine from the University of Miami. And Commander Duffy has nicknamed him Dr. Dan. Mission Specialist Koichi Wakata is now getting the rest of his gear on, getting ready for his first flight aboard the Space Shuttle. Wakata is from the Japanese Space Agency and will be operating the remote manipulator system robotic arm. He's responsible for grappling the satellites and for berthing them in the orbiter's payload bay.
CGSS OTC. This is CGSS. This time I give you 571 OAA accumulator pre-charge. Copy and work. OTC CGLS. Go ahead, GLS. We've completed implementation of SAP 92. That will be steps 499 through 506. Endeavour, OTC, air to ground 2. How do you copy? 2 loud and clear. 2 loud and clear. MS1 loud and clear. MS2 loud and clear. MS3 loud and clear. MS4 loud and clear. Copy all loud and clear. Proceeding with ICOM A checks. QC OTC 212.
Go ahead, sir.
680.
Copy.
If a hold is requested and issued between T-minus 9 minutes and T-minus 31 seconds, the countdown clock will be restarted upon successful resolution of the problem without a go survey made of all elements. If the launch cannot be accomplished within the launch window or if the following time is exceeded, cutoff will be given. And the launch train back hold time is 5 minutes 36 seconds. DLT at T-minus 5 minutes, perform APU start upon command of OTC only. TLT copies. And CDR, the pad egress system is nominal configuration. Evacuation helipad is number 9. Roger, number 9. NTD CCFC. Go ahead, CCFC. Yes, sir. We're looking at the difference between our CT-05 and the LCC that Milo was talking about. We're go at this time. You are go at this time? That's affirmative. We've got confirmed air to ground 1 and 2, and our recommendation would be to proceed. Copy. FP. And NTD FP, we're go at this time. No constraints launch, correct? Out of Flowing. Copy. GLS is go for OA retract. NTD FRO 212. Go ahead, FRO. Roger, want to verify Nuti 0931 colon 37 Zulu.
NTD Houston
Roger,
flight.
affirmative. Go ahead, fly.
Yeah, with this hardware change and verifying the entire configuration, we have a problem with white sands and the modulation. We'd like to hold here at 5 minutes and straighten out white sand so that we'll be able to get TDRS after launch.
I copy flight. GLS entity. GLS go. Hold the clock at 5 minutes. GLS copies. Countdown clock will hold at T-minus 5 minutes. On my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
T-minus 5 minutes and counting.
T-minus 5 minutes and counting. TLT OTC, perform APU start. Start. CDR OTC, reconfigure heaters. That's in work.
A profile test of the orbiter's aero surfaces has started. The orbiter flight control surfaces are being moved through a pre-programmed pattern to verify they are ready for launch. The main engines are being gimbaled and positioned for launch. All systems are go at this time, just a few minutes away from the 10th voyage of Endeavour with a crew of 6 on the first shuttle flight of the year. T-minus 3 minutes and counting.
GLS is go for ET-LO2 pressurization.
External tank is now being pressurized for flight. The gaseous oxygen vent hood at the very top of the tank will be moved away, retracted back to the launch position in the next few seconds.
Clear caution and warning memory, verify no unexpected errors. That's a lot. OTC caution and warning is clear, no unexpected errors. Copy? Endeavour OTC, close and lock your visors, initiate O2 flow, have a smooth ride and a safe landing. All right, thanks OTC, and let's get 96 off to a great start. GLS is go for ET-LH2 pressurization.
At the T-minus 31 second point, Endeavour's onboard computers will have control of vehicle functions.
GLS is go for auto sequence start.
In the next few seconds, thousands of gallons of water will be dumped onto the launch platform to help suppress the sound and shock of the 7 million pounds of thrust produced by the shuttle. T-minus 15 seconds. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. We have a go for engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Endeavour in pursuit of a Japanese satellite.
Houston, controlling.
217, 218, and roll the program, Houston. Roger, roll, Endeavour.
The roll maneuver is complete aboard the orbiter Endeavour. The orbiter is now in a heads-down position on course for a 28.5 degree, 250 nautical mile orbit in pursuit of the SpaceFLYER unit for rendezvous and capture on Saturday morning. Endeavour's engines have now throttled down as the orbiter prepares to pass through the area of maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle. Three main engines now throttling back up.
Endeavour, Houston, go with throttle up. Roger, go with throttle up.
Endeavour's three liquid-fueled engines are now back at full throttle. The orbiter is now downrange from the Kennedy Space Center of 10 nautical miles. The orbiter is traveling 2,600 feet per second, or about 1,700 miles per hour. The altitude is passing through 90,000 feet. The three hydraulic systems are in excellent shape, as are the fuel cells. The main engines are still performing at full throttle. Approaching 2 minutes into the flight, standing by for burnout and separation of the twin solid rocket boosters. SRB separation is confirmed. Time 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the flight.
Endeavour, performance nominal. Roger, nominal.
Performance thus far in the launch phase has been as expected. Endeavour is now at an altitude of 210,000 feet, downrange from the launch site 45 nautical miles, now traveling 5,000 feet per second, or about 3,400 miles per hour.